the 2022 Women's Six Nations.
Behave, Abby Dow! That is absolutely gorgeous! It's still Sarah Byrne going. Oh, what a score by Byrne. What a force of nature. Kildare out wide to Breach, still Breach. What a stat, what a try! 10 tries at Kingsholm. So far, a very impressive Six Nations campaign for the Red Roses.
England arrive in Leicester 3 from 3 on a run of 21 consecutive victories. They've bagged tries for fun and today come up against an Ireland side who've grown in confidence following their victory against Italy in round 3. And a record home crowd expected for an England's Women's International. Over 15,000 boys, girls, men and women of all ages cheering on the Red Roses on this sunny Sunday lunchtime in Leicester. Yeah, the final match of this fourth round of the TikTok Women's Six Nations. It's England against Ireland at the home of Leicester Tigers. And it is going to be a glorious afternoon weather-wise. We're hoping on the pitch as well, and certainly in terms of breaking records. And alongside me to enjoy this one, I've got rugby royalty from both sides of the Irish Sea. For England, it's Katie Daly-McLean and Maggie Alfonsi and Ciara Griffin of Ireland to enjoy this. And Maggie, we have been enjoying England's performances. They've been incredible. We're running out of superlatives. It's almost 3 years since they've been beaten. So what is it specifically about this Six Nations that you have been impressed by?
I'd probably say it's been two things. First, I'd say the quality of the tries that England scored. They scored 31 tries, they've been really varied across the 3 games. And I'd say the second thing is England's defence. It's been ruthless, been aggressive, been relentless. They've only conceded 2 tries. But we still haven't seen the best of England yet. So I'm hoping today we get a big performance in front of a record-breaking crowd.
Absolutely. Over 15,000, could be more. It's certainly a record. And for a player, Katie, to come out in this atmosphere, in front of this crowd, you want to impress, you want to put on your best face.
You really do, because generally you only find this in France. You know, you've got to wait for that big game to happen. But actually what we're finding, Gloucester 2 weekends ago, we've come to Leicester, like we've said, we look like this record crowd again. It's everything you dream of. You put all the hard hours in for moments like this, and the crowd look like they're going to deliver today.
Well, there is a slight caveat to that, and it is the knowledge that Ireland are not fielding their best team because a lot of their players have gone out to play in Vancouver for the Sevens. And it's a political decision. It's about weighing up for Ireland what's most important at this point. It's just a shame, I guess, for the spectacle. We're not seeing the very best of Ireland.
Yeah, look, it's really unfortunate because you want to see the best playing the best, and we've got 5 starting backline missing for this tournament from the first 3 rounds. It is unfortunate, but again, look, as I said, the Ireland Sevens team are looking to qualify for the Sevens World Cup. That's their priority, and that's our view's priority at the moment. But on the flip side, it gives other 15s players the opportunity now to show what they can do in an Irish jersey.
And I'll be honest, I'm a bit disappointed because I was really hoping to see Emily Scarrett versus Eve Higgins, because you want to see the best players play against each other. But I understand Ireland's decision, and I just hope they put in a big performance today.
Let's have a little look at the table, because it does show us the gulf between these two sides. And obviously Ireland are really... Well, that one victory against Italy in round 3, the 29-8 score, they really are the underdogs today, though. England have got 189 points, 31 tries in 3 victories. On Friday, of course, Wales got that second half try in a defeat to France. France, though, perhaps not at their very best. It was a little bit at times testy between those two sides, a little bit of argy-bargy. Italy 20, Scotland 13 was last night's match, and that, of course, Italy's first win of this championship so far. But this afternoon, a real positive will be a local lass made good. Emily Scarrett is running out for the 100th time for England in front of a crowd that will give her such a warm reception. And Skaz, as her teammates call her, spoke to Sonia McLaughlin a little bit earlier.
Well, I think there was a crowd of about 100 when Emily Scarrett made her England debut way back in 2008, but fittingly, there's a fair few more here today to mark this tremendous milestone. Emily, many congratulations. How proud are you right now?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Obviously, we've still got a game to play, so obviously there's been a lot of hype, and the shirt presentation last night was very special. You know, Sarah Hunter stood up and said some really nice words, so yeah, it's cool. It's going to definitely be a pretty proud day for me and my family today.
You were just 18 when you made your debut back at Isha Rugby Club against the USA. Can you have ever imagined that 14 years later you'd still be at it?
No, honestly not. I thought I'd be long gone. But yeah, I never dreamed of pulling the shirt on once, to be honest with you, and then kind of standing here for the 100th time, it's you can't get your head around it. To see how far the game has come, like you said, how many people are potentially here today cheering us on, and you know, the rest of what's to come from this side, but also women's rugby is really exciting.
Now, you're a cool customer, both on and off the pitch, but I wonder if that bottom lip might wobble a little bit when the anthems are playing in front of your family.
It might do. I don't know. The proof will be in the pudding with stuff like that, won't it? But obviously, it's crazy special being here in Leicestershire, where I grew up. I said it earlier in the week, whoever's writing some of my scripts at the moment, I owe them a drink or two, and that's definitely still true. So yeah, I want to make sure I enjoy it, but also obviously play well.
Many congratulations and good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Sonia.
Yeah, 14 years ago as an 18-year-old, she ran out against the USA in Isha, and she has come a long, long way, Katie, and given so much to this team. And it is a wonderful moment for her to have a home crowd, effectively, with her.
She is just such a wonderful person. We couldn't have asked for any more for her. Like you say, home crowd, she's come back to Leicester. It's absolutely perfect. And she's just an all-round good person. I think everybody knows about Emily's rugby ability, but actually how humble she is, how important this is to her family. And it's just such a massive day. To do it in Leicester, you couldn't have wished for any more for her.
Much strength, give so much strength to this team, don't they? And so much comes from the set piece.
Yeah, Gabby, you already highlighted the fact that the forwards are the best. You know, they're the ones that win the game, and the backs basically decide by how many. But England's forwards are really keen. There's two dynamic pair that I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do. Starting initially with Abby Ward. She's not on the screen at the moment, but Abby Ward has been phenomenal this Six Nations. She basically started every game, was player of the match against Wales a few weekends ago, and as someone who's been really come into good form. And then you bring on her partner in crime, Zoe Allcroft, who's coming back from injury. Again, you can't see her on the screen, but when she comes out, you'll be really impressed. Well, everything that she's done so far up until this point has been exciting. You know, her coming back from her injury, you know, she's World Player of the Year, so I expect a lot from her today. I imagine both of them will target the Irish line-out, especially as Ireland have got a big injury as Sam Monaghan.
Well, Ireland are depleted, as we've said, and up front as well, worryingly so, I think, in the pack. But it's the same back row that played against Italy for that victory, and they are going to be tested today. It's going to be important they are on their game.
Yeah, look, it's been a real back row battle today. And look, no one better than Adele McMahon, I think, to lead that charge. You know, she's a really physical player around the park, a tyrant at the breakdown, really good at communicating with her players outside and inside to get that line speed. And I think we'll see Adele McMahon really targeting the English breakdown today, just to slow down that ball, to give time for that line speed to set.
Yeah, it will be tough for Ireland today, so depleted and so little experience compared to this England side, who are absolutely jam-packed with experience. World Players of the Year in their lineup, players with 100 caps in the case of Emily Scarrett today. But Ireland will give it their very best. Let's join our commentary team today then. Kira's going to make her way to the box to join Sarah Orchard and Brian Moore.
Thank you so much. Well, it is Ireland who run out first, led by the ex-Chiefs lock, Nicola Friday. They've run out in front of some large crowds already against France, but this will be another level of noise altogether. And it is about to get a little bit louder. Well, it looks like England are actually making a tunnel here for one very special lady. You can see on the right-hand side of your screen there the England captain, Sarah Hunter, a woman of quite a few caps herself. She'll win her 134th today, but you can see there in the shadows at the back. Here comes the Centurion. Emily Scarrett leads out England on the occasion of her 100th cap, a World Cup winner, a former World Player of the Year, and it all started at just 5 years of age down the road at Leicester Forest Rugby Club. She's followed out by Bristol Bears' Leanne Infante, who clocks up her 50th England appearance. A wonderful moment between the two women. We're pretty sure the friends and family here from Emily Scarrett today could probably fill one of these stands on their own. And everyone wants a piece of the action, sharing in the moment. Well, rugby will now make its stand against racism and show its support for Ukraine.
Racism is not acceptable in rugby, in sport, or in the world we live in. And we will continue to recognise this before every game this season. Thank you for your support to make sure that rugby really is for everybody. England Rugby and Ireland Rugby Union stand together in solidarity with Ukraine and its people. We strongly condemn the invasion and our thoughts are with those affected by this crisis. Please join us in a 30-second moment of applause that will end on the referee's whistle.
Well, we'll now have the anthem starting with Ireland.
Please be standing if possible for the national anthem of Ireland, performed by Libby Scott.
Now we have God Save the Queen. Right, we are now closing in on kickoff, but a chance now to look at the teams. First off, England, and Simon Middleton makes 5 changes. In the forwards, the World Player of the Year, Gloucester's Harsbury's Zoe Aldcroft returns from injury to join Abby Ward in the second row. Meanwhile, in the backs, Loughborough Lightning's Helena Rowland wears 15 for the first time. Lydia Thompson comes onto the wing with Holly Aitchison at 13 and Leanne Infante back at scrum half. Moving on to Ireland now. There are a lot of changes. 7 in total. There's only 1 though in the forwards as the head coach Greg McWilliams brings in the Leinster lock Aoife McDermott. That's to replace the injured Sam Monaghan in the second row. Monaghan will be a big loss today. In the backs, 5 changes. Brina Naopu joining forces in the centres. Munster wings Doyle and Considine taking on the fringes, with Railway Union's Molly Scuffle McCabe making her debut at fullback. onto the benches then, and Bottoman and Cocaine are back from injury for England, while Niamh Byrne, she could make her debut for Ireland wearing 23. Our referee today is Australia's Amber McLaughlin. Well, there she is, Emily Scarratt, the woman of the moment, and Brian Moore. A huge day for her and a fitting occasion.
Absolutely, and done with a calmness, a coolness, and a self-effacing modesty which belies her savage nature when it comes to being a competitor. Congratulations to her.
Yes, no doubt she is just taking in the crowd, and everyone's just waiting to get things underway. We should say it is a little bit blustery out pitch side at the moment, so do keep a little eye on what's going on with the kickers. A big moment though for Nicole Cronin to get us underway. Ready to launch then the final match of round 4 of the Women's Six Nations, as the ball goes deep to Scarratt herself, and she sends it high into the Leicester sky. An early test then for Molly Scuffle-McCabe, all went backwards. O'Connor into contact early on. McMahon. Friday there, just at the back, but there's no scrum half for Ireland. It was good that Cronin could come in there to do a bit of scrum half duty. She's played a lot in that position in her time. Dane is here this time, but counter ruck from England. Dane does gather. Friday. Big whistle, big early penalty, and an early chance for England to progress further up the park.
Great pressure there on that work there. Look at double tackle, then look over the ball, nice low position. Marley Packer loves those opportunities. You can't give her too many in this area of the park.
And this is going to be one of the difficulties for Ireland, making ground after the tackle. England's defence has been so solid, and if you can't get that go-forward ball, it makes it an awful lot more difficult.
Let's step across, I'm on the mark, open, come up. Girls, the gap's too big. Here, here.
Loughborough Lightning's Lark Davis then goes short to the front to Ward. Abby Ward, of course, player of the match in their last fixture against Wales. Directing the traffic. What a shove.
Okay,
Ireland dealing this well, penalty advantage. Still moving, try! Lark Davis scores, and England on the score sheet in 2 minutes.
That advantage for 8 collapsing, make sure the girls keep that ball right.
Well, you can hear the referee talking about keeping the maul up, but England, having set it properly, and this is the most important thing with the mauls, before you start trying to run forward, get the blockers in first, get the ball to the back, get it so it's balanced, and then, no matter what comes, even though Ireland are doing a good job of trying to drag the maul towards the touchline, England are able to recalibrate, they're able to rebalance it, and when it comes through and they split off at the front, there's no way they can stop that.
Yeah, look, it's a really well-worked maul there by England. They even regathered, regrouped. You could see Ireland were going for the splitting the English pack and trying to drive them towards that touchline. Unfortunately, look, the calibre of England, they regained their composure and just got that march forward. A well-worked try.
Emily Scarratt taking on kicking duties for England today. Well, that one across the face of the posts, but still a 5-0 lead there for England. And as Lark Davis goes over, worth mentioning, this is a very familiar position for Davis. She's the top try scorer at the moment in the Premier 15s League. Very used to hanging out at the back there from those line-outs and then getting ready for that maul going over.
And that is the sort of try that at Welford Road they've been seeing for about 5 decades.
I'm sure you're involved in quite a few of them, Brian. Hunter. Huge hits going in on the England captain there. 2 Irish women to bring her down. Harrison. push down the line. Aitchison wants to push Rowland. So it's the first time that Helena Rowland's worn 15 for England. A lot of focus on who's going to end up wearing that 15 shirt long term. Harrison again.
Hold.
Just uses that right peg to push the Irish. And there could be a huge amount of high balls coming down Molly Scuffle-McCabe's throat today.
Yeah, look, it's a proud day for Molly Scuffle-McCabe, you know, getting your first Irish cap, but it is a daunting one at times as well, facing such a power that is England. I'm sure England will be looking to expose her positioning just to get at the test of waters at the start.
With a good exit drill and a long exit drill by England. What you can't see, obviously, on the TV is it is quite windy today and it's swirling around. So it's not easy for players trying to take the ball when it's gone high.
Jones misses, it goes straight over red really nicely there, and here comes the woman who just runs, Sarah Byrne. Popped up ball, Packer now. Ward, Abby Ward! 2 on the board in 5 minutes for England as Bristol's Abby Ward goes over for England's second.
Thank you.
Well, there was an air of inevitability, wasn't it, as soon as the line-out went over the back and the space was created. I was watching earlier and Niamh Jones was having trouble hitting her jumpers. As I say, the wind is bad, but that was an overthrow. And once you're into the backfield there's no real alternative for defences when you've got quality and pace and size.
We're just checking the last pass, is that correct, Lee?
Yes, checking the last pass, please, Amber.
Sorry, the last pass and...
Yes, just checking the last pass.
Okay, thank you.
So as you just heard there from our refereeing team, they are just going to check that last pass. We assume it'll be to see if it's a forward pass. This is a long way back from the line out where it was gathered by Infante.
Okay, thank
Well, that wasn't the last pass, that was the first one.
Travelling forward out of the 9's hands. Hands are always going
Yeah, definitely forward.
Got a forward pass back on the 22. Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, 22 and the 15. No try, forward pass.
Good work then by the refereeing team.
Yeah, look, lucky escape there for Ireland, but look, that is a warning shot of what can happen from unforced errors. Again, you can see in that line out there was a miscommunication. There was no lift on Nicola Friday. So Ireland now need to settle it there and just focus on the next job, which is the scrum, which I'm sure England will target as a marker for the first set piece.
Well, we were discussing this before the game, weren't we? And it's saying that England will be looking to get on top here. The Irish front row, you were telling me that they were difficulty bringing players through and that specialists.
Yeah, exactly. Look, England have such an experienced front row, and I think this will be look, it's a learning curve for the players as well. But this will be a real test of this Irish pack.
Bind. Right. Wait for my call. Let's make sure we are in on a bind for me as well. Let's reset, girls.
On the near side of the screen there, you can see Vicky Cornborough wearing 1 there for England, going up against Christy Haney, that you can see there. Only a 3rd cap for Christy Haney, taking on Cornborough, who really is an ever-present in this Simon Middleton side. It's very rare you ever see her not named. But it's an Ireland penalty, and they will celebrate that.
That's a big win. That's a big mini win there for Ireland, just to get that dominance in the first scrum. They'll take real confidence from this. It also gives them a good opportunity now to clear from their 22 and set up an attack.
See Christine Haney doing well there, getting a shoulder down and round from tight. It means the angle of shove, it means that the pressure is dissipated completely. As soon as you see the Irish number 3 here, she's turned her in.
I'll come over that side. That's right.
And Vicky Cornborough is making clear to the referee that it wasn't her fault, but she's got to get tighter and she's got to get under an opposite number.
Taken really nice in the air by O'Connor. Here come the Irish, taken forward this time by Breen. Dane, good support by the captain Friday. Cronin looking for her options. That was Dorothy Wall looking for work there in that back line.
Go on the ball, leave her. Hold there.
Dane is struggling there. The counter-rucking from England, really pressure. Just pounding down on the Irish to hold on to the ball.
Captains. Let me speak here. I've stopped the play here because I've got 2 and 7 pushing around on the ground. 2 for your, 7 for yours. Let's keep it clean throughout the game because we don't need that. Green up in possession, so it's going to be a green scrum. Okay, cool. So have a chat to your girls to leave it off the ball. We keep an eye on the chemistry of the feet, like so good passes that we have to see.
Have a chat.
Well, they're talking about Niamh Jones, the Irish hooker, and Marley Packer, England number 7. I've got 2 people smiling next to me when I say those names.
Well, I don't think I'd like to be in a fight with Marley Packer.
No, definitely not. Look, I think Niamh Jones is a really passionate player. She's quite fiery at times just from that passion. So, look, it just means what it means to them. You're going to get heated at times, but it's just ensuring now that they focus on playing rugby and focusing at what's important.
Got to play with some treatment as well.
Well, Packer was right that she's not letting her up. That's why she's angry. I don't think strangling her is the answer, to be honest.
There is Marley Packer, Saracens women, scored a hat-trick, of course, against Scotland. Wasn't selected for the trip to Italy, not because she was dropped, but that's just how Simon Middleton has chosen to rotate his side throughout this Six Nations campaign. Arguably an embarrassment of riches at times when it comes to the English women.
You keep a good picture for me.
Well, the thing is, when you look at England's bench, the players are on there. You've got a whole replacement front row, which is probably as good as the one that is starting. And when you can leave Poppy Cleal on the bench.
Nicola Cronin there, she has had a little bit of treatment to her back there. She's ever so slightly holding it. We'll keep a close eye. Another one for Ireland, a free kick this time.
Yeah, look, Ireland are going to take real confidence from this. It's good to see good composure in their front row. They're getting really good height at that scrum time. So it's a good thing to go forward for Ireland.
Oh, interesting. Naopu couldn't get on to that one, so England have it. Ireland lose that ground then from the free kick. Infante almost runs into the ref. Harrison slightly on her own. Infante looks up. Here comes Davis. They're just trying to speed up the play here. Scarrett unable to be taken by Breach. And they're going to come back. It's another Irish scrum, and Ireland will love that.
Yeah, look, I think Ireland there are trying to be Baba-esque and trying a different type of play. But look, it's really important if you try those, you have to be clinical in terms of your gain line and make something from those meters.
You can just see one eye on the ball, but one eye on the tackler.
Yeah.
Just hold on the hip.
Jess Breach back for her second appearance in this Six Nations. Had a real tough time with injury over the last year. Ankle, shoulder, back. She actually broke her back and has come back from that.
Bind.
Incredibly strong woman for the fortitude after that succession of events. Well, England turned up at this scrum. What a shove. There's the penalty. They did not like what Ireland have been doing to them. Scarrett with the hack on. Aitchison is there. Really good run back by Scuffle McCabe, but they'll come back for the penalty. And that was a scrum response.
It was, I think, England in the second scrum, where they were given a penalty, a free kick against them for going early, had made their mind up they were going to go after the Irish scrum. And the simple timing and what the Irish tight head couldn't do this time, what Christy Haley couldn't do was get her shoulder down. Once she was lifted up, you're in a disadvantageous position, and the consequences, well, it's ineluctable.
Well, England's opening try came from a very similar position on the other side of the field.
Drop ball.
Ward can't take it, Jugan can.
Yeah, advantage, knock on white. Hold.
England are slightly fluffing their lines at the moment. Quite a lot of mistakes from them so far. Big drive through there, Cronin. Charged down by Aldcroft. They're going to come back.
No advantage for the knock-on.
It was always advantage, but we should also mention that the try areas here at Welford Road, they're very small, so it'd be very impressive if she'd have managed to get that one. Aldcroft, of course, her first appearance in a white shirt in this year. We did see her perform in the autumn. The last time we saw her out, she was actually captaining the side. But she's coming back from an injury at the moment.
To go into. Let's make sure we get that
She can play back row as well, but packing down alongside Abby Ward today.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, England seem to have figured this out. And they're going to take this one quickly. Infante looks up, pass down the line. Scarrett back inside to Aitchison. A little bit of a decision-making of which direction to go for England. Options on either side. Decide to bring it back towards the middle. Infante again looks up. Harrison is there. Aitchison with the long pass, but there's so much wind. It is so blustery out there. Those long passes are going to be such a risk.
Completely. I'm kind of surprised with that one there. I thought England would take the set piece, considering that their last line out resulted in a really strong drive, and their first try came from a maul. So I think they might be looking to calm it there inside the Irish green zone.
Jones, not quite to Friday. Ward has it.
Little knock on the ground, first one by Green in the line out.
Well, if you look at how many movements there were in that line out from Highland, as a hooker, you're waiting for the trigger point, and he doesn't come with the dummies here and there. You only saw the end of that. There are at least 4 movements before there. And of course, if you have 4 or 5 movements, there are more things to go wrong, and unfortunately that's what happened.
Just come to the side for me, thank you.
Well, the last few scrums have all been about that big white machine. Ireland got the first early couple of scrums under their belt with a penalty and a free kick. They're a long way out here, England, but they are pushing. The control by Hunter eventually goes to Infante breach.
Release Green!
Spun out ball, Aldcroft support on her shoulder through Matthews. Here comes Davis. More big runners for England. Byrne is there.
Hold up.
Now this is where
no advantage from the scrum.
England need to be careful taking over the line, but they have the penalty advantage. Infante is there. She's screaming. She wants that mark quickly.
Number 1, angle.
So that's the 4th penalty Ireland have conceded. And this set piece is going to be a concern.
It is completely, and look, I think Sarah Hunter made the correct decision there. You know, she told them to relax, and they went for the corner. Again, you're going to use your strengths here. But Ireland now needs to settle down this set piece, focus on either locking out their scrum or at line out, working out to counteract the English maul.
No, they've got a nice, good straight picture for me. I need you to have that same picture.
As always, discussions about what is or isn't going on in the front row from people who don't play in the front row and have no idea.
We love you, Brian, for it. We do. There's breach. This was when Byrne was going.
That's good defence by Ireland, managing to keep the ball away, good commitment.
She's had no effect, so.
Quite clearly body underneath.
That was good work by Seni Neopu there. Of course, she's been brought into the squad now, 38 years old, winning her 47th cap. A real campaigner for Ireland, but it's just been so hard for Ireland to essentially put together this back line.
Completely. Look, when 5-year starting back line are taken before a really important game, it's hard. You're always going to be playing catch-up.
Oh, it's another overthrow. There's so many mistakes from both sides at the moment. That's the second line out England have lost. Dane manages to find O'Connor. Dane again. This time Naopu. She uses the back line. They pass it out wide to Scuffle McCabe, who runs out of park.
Into touch. White line out.
Well, Molly Scuffle McCabe, she plays fullback. She can play a bit of a scrum half as well, but
count for numbers.
She's renowned for having a very calm head.
Yeah, a really calm player, has done really well in the AIL season for Railway Union. But again, look, it's a different test here now, so she'll be learning on the go.
You step back.
Well, there you go. Ireland were choosing not to contest.
You step back.
Well, there's nothing wrong with not competing, but you can't come out of the line out first.
Well, that'll be frustrating for Ireland.
The thing is, if you're going to do this, which
Sideways,
what we're trying to do
backwards.
is say there's no one in there, so the first player can tackle that and drop the maul. That wouldn't be it would normally be a penalty if it was a maul. It would be counted as a tackle, but unfortunately, you can't step out first.
Oldcroft then is in there. It was Matthews who flew into the air to take it. The crowd want this one to move. Getting quite close on that far side. There's Byrne with the ball at the back. Byrne's got to be careful. That's over. Sarah Byrne, happy to just plot that one down and get England second.
Well, England getting there in the end, but I thought at one point that Ireland had done enough just to make the room and the gap too small, but England was strong enough to keep that straight.
Yeah, look, I think Ireland did a really good job. Everyone hit at the same time. They all drove, legs going together towards that touchline. But just something to pick up on here, Ireland had given away another penalty in this area, so something you need to be aware of going forward, because once you get, would you paint that picture for a ref, is what they're always going to see.
So close there, her feet. I think it's been well marshalled there by the scrum half Leanne Infante, who was watching Byrne's feet for her.
All clear, Amber.
Sarah Byrne was nominated for
Amber,
World Player of
did
the
you
Year
get
in
that?
2019.
Yes, all right,
that was the
thank you.
year that Emily Scarrett actually won the award. Well, it's another miss for Emily Scarrett. Sarah Byrne's 19th try for England. One more, nice number in 20.
When you're ready.
Cronin with the restart. Hunter. Infante finds Packer. Always makes a really awkward body position. Waiting is Davis. She's slightly on her own. She was on her own, and Ireland were on top of that like a rash.
Well won there by Niamh Jones. Niamh Jones, her body position, she's excellent in terms of getting low over that ball. Again, a good opportunity for Ireland here now to kick the ball finally into the English half.
That's a good lesson to England. You can't make shortcuts. You shouldn't start, because you're doing well, you get on top. Can't start running, you know, well, first of all, it was from Molly Packer, didn't get a running start. She was stuttering when she got onto the ball. She had overrun the ball, and then you're isolated with the next carrier. And against good teams and good defences, you won't get away with that.
Sit there, thank you.
You can see there, that's Greg McWilliams there, the Ireland head coach. Only came in at the end of last year. This is his first Six Nations campaign in charge. He has previously been an assistant coach in the system. Friday, that's a better line out then by the Irish. That's moving, and Jones has it at the back. Dana's arrived. Managed to get it to Breen. Good support over the top there by Doyle as well. Popped off to Jugang. This is the best platform we've seen so far by the Irish. Friday, huge hit going on her. Huge counter-rucking coming in by England.
I don't think you'll have to hit the 9 though.
Tackle, release White. That was ferocious. Ireland have got that one back. That was hard fought. Jones.
Hold.
Still Irish ball. They're calling for it now, the number 8, O'Connor. Dane wants to bring it back towards the middle. Dane directing traffic well so far. Passed off once again. Big hit going in on Friday there, who's taken a lot of ball. This time we see Considine. McDermott. Friday is there waiting for more. She's carrying a huge amount of ball, the skipper. Cronin. She has to take it into contact herself. We see in the end that McMahon comes in. There are hands in there. They are white hands as well.
Blood.
Sarah Hunt has taken a knee there. She's just going to receive a little bit of treatment, but that was an absolutely intense passage of play where Ireland did brilliantly to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, I think Ireland take a lot of confidence from that in terms of they went through the phases, they were patient, they resourced their works really well. They 2 strong counter-attacks from England and they still regain regain possession. So you'll take a lot from that.
You just see a replay there, that was a penalty. I think England will be pleased with their defensive sets, and I just wonder, with the number of Irish players that are missing, whether had they been there, that might have been the spark that they needed. You know, they're going through these sets, they're going through the phases, just need that X factor to make the break, to make the difference.
Completely, just to take an opportunity and go once, because it's not often you get many opportunities in this area in the park against England.
Well, this was the penalty. It was hands in there by England. There's still a bit of treatment going on to the England captain, Sarah Hunter. So that is the pause and play.
Make sure they're not taking the Irish halfback as they're driving through.
Okay.
Well, you just heard there coming out that they are feeding into the referee to keep an eye.
She's bound in and then put her hands in.
So that was feeding into the referee. Exactly what Brian was saying there. Just keep an eye on Catherine Dane being taken out.
Well, it was quite obvious, to be honest.
Real good. You happy there?
Well, look at that crowd enjoying the sunshine here
Shot it
at the
called.
Mattielli Woods Welford Road Stadium. Early start for everyone today with the early kickoff, but certainly having a good time. And here we go. Nicole Cronin is going to be kicking at posts. Munster fly half, the occasion's got the better of her there. It remains nil, and that's the sort of kit that Nicole Cronin would get nearly every day of the week in training. She will be so frustrated.
Yeah, look, Nicole Cronin should be very frustrated with that. She sets high standards for herself, but now it's about, you know, focusing on the next job, deleting that, and focusing on the next phase of play.
Well, it can happen to the best of fly halves. Anyone who watched the men's match between Harlequins and Leicester yesterday, the England fly half, George Ford, he was missing a few at post. It can happen as Breach manages to sneak the ball away there. Ward manages to give to Packer.
That's the wrong option.
Infante. Cornborough. Back and away. There's actually an Ireland player down injured at the moment. Harrison pushes out to Scarrett. Scarrett still going. It's going to be an Irish penalty. England holding on the floor.
And England continuing to have problems with their continuity, either not getting players there
Player down.
in time or not getting the line straight enough. And the Irish have done well. They haven't. It hasn't been recorded on the scoreboard, but I would think taking England to nearly 25 minutes at 10 down, they'll be very pleased.
Yeah, completely. Look, they are a big thing. I think looking into this England game is England have one of the fastest ruck speeds, and you need to slow that down for you to set your line. I think Ireland's done a really good job at resourcing their rucks, but also counteracting the English attacking ruck, giving time for that line speed to get some good double hits and some good contact areas.
Well, we're just going to have a pause here then as they just get the correct treatment to the Irish player down on the floor. Now you can see there on your screen, right in the middle there is one of the absolute legends of the England game. That's Jill Burns, former England captain. Played at number 8 famously for Waterloo. Also won the World Cup with England in '94, and she is joined by over 400 women. You can see, look at all of those caps, they're incredible. All former internationals and those who have played for their counties as well. Big party today. It's also the anniversary of that 1994 World Cup win. We're going to be hearing from Jill at half-time with Sonia, but what a wonderful occasion and a fantastic anniversary to come and celebrate.
Absolutely, and you've also, remember, you've got 4 of the girls who organised the very, very first Women's World Cup in 1991. 2 of them put their houses up as collateral. One of the girls, Sue Dorrington, is one of the very few people in rugby who has intimidated me thoroughly.
And of course that first World Cup in '91 in Wales, as we just see there, the next generation of Red Roses watching on. And it looks like Aoife Doyle is back on her feet. And she's smiling again.
All good?
Yeah, look, it's great to see. You always don't like seeing players going down for that level of time. Now it's given Ireland the time also to reset and focus on their next job, which is clearing their lines here.
Aoife Doyle was on the bench last week. In the starting lineup now with all those sevens changes.
Turn back on. Holding on.
So Breen is the one who's trusted with pushing that one down the field. Enya Breen can also play a bit of fly half. She's got a good boot on her.
Yeah, Enya's a kind of an all-round player at the really, but she has good experience at 10 also. So again, look, it gives another option for the Irish forwards as well to be run off 2 people.
Well, Friday couldn't take that, didn't matter. McDermott tidies up. Jones. Dane finds Cronin. Here comes Breen.
Tackle now, out 3.
Huge tackle coming in there by Byrne. O'Connor. Cronin.
Wings on.
Sidestep boot to ball, read nicely by Rowland. Oh, still Rowland, look at that footwork. Still going. Helena Rowland delighting the crowd, but it's an Irish penalty.
You're stealing and holding on.
And the warning there for the arriving players.
Well, superb footwork. Unfortunately made so much ground that the England supporting players couldn't get with her.
What are we doing?
Lovely take on the full. Good strength there, and then great footwork.
You can tell from a run like that Helena Rowland used to play a bit of sevens.
And here's the accuracy we're talking about for England in and around the breakdown. The first player there, I think, is it Emily Scarrett?
Yeah, now we go.
Yes, it is. Needs to be more effective.
Well, Ireland haven't had too much joy from their last few line-outs.
Off the mark, line is the mark.
They will want a slightly more clinical set piece. They're just really struggling with that ball at the front. Harrison, Matthews to Packer. That's the third line out in a row Ireland have lost.
Over.
Scarrett, numbers on her quickly, making sure they don't give her that room.
Thank you, 5.
Harrison, Byrne. Still Byrne, she's so tricky to tackle. It's Jugang who drags her down. 7th carry for Byrne now. Through the middle, that was Matthews. Harrison. Looking for work again, Rowland. Got support on her shoulders there through Cornborough.
Number 12 needs to roll. 12, not rolling.
And that is better from England. More variety in the point of attack, and the point at where they're taking the ball into contact. And that's a good kick.
You've been in a fair few Irish line-outs, Ciara Griffin. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Ireland need to slow it down. It's like they're rushing into their calls. Just think you have more time than you think, and often the easier option is the best option. Just straight up, down, get rid of that ball. You want to win the ball. And
it's amazing, isn't it? When things go wrong, people make them more complicated.
Yeah.
We've got to do something that has even more chance of going wrong. People keep saying you don't want ball at 2 in the line out because you can't use it. I tell you, well, it's better than having no ball.
Exactly. If you can win it at 2, set a good maul, walk it up a few meters, it gives you a platform. You always want a platform to work off.
We'll stop for you as well.
Just on that pass play there, one player, if you saw Adele McMahon shooting out that line twice, closing out Emily Scarrett, give her no gain line, and again there in the second, in another contact a few minutes later. It's just great work rate from a back row, and that's what you need. You need the back row being a menace.
Let's hold, Dorian. Get it a hold.
What price to the catch and drive here, I would think.
Hold. There. Time back on.
Davis long towards the back, taken then by Aldcroft. 2 of England tries have come from this position. Is it going to be a third? Still Davis with the ball. Dragging, spinning.
No, they've held it up. Good defence by Ireland. And actually England, that's not...
a level of mess here.
That's too much of a mess, not good enough.
It's okay. On the 5 white.
Well, there you go. Simon Middleton and Lewis Deacon there are going to pour over what happened here.
Just make sure
it was a good catch. It was a great drive. It just didn't finish.
Well, look, they've in control there. The ball is there. The screen is there. And actually, whoever got in, I think it was McDermott in the end from Irish, if she got her body in the way, it was a brilliant piece of robbing work.
So, of course, it's now a goal line dropout when you're held up over the line. Here comes Scarrett. Support was with her, didn't use it.
Keep going, Green.
Davis. Harrison. Ward. Options on either side. In the end, it's Packer. The green wall holds for now. Davis.
Hold there, 3.
Spun right through the middle is Aldcroft. She saw the space and the gap, she took it.
And again, you see inaccuracy from England at ruck time, at the breakdown time. The supporting players were there, but the first person in, the first player in has to get that lift right. They have to get the Irish jackal off the tackle. They couldn't do it. See here, there's an in and over the ball, and you've got to move her. And that's a problem when scrum half's doing the first lifting.
Well timed there again by Del McMahon. Low over the ball, low body position. Ireland will take great confidence from this half. 29 minutes in, 10-0. But they've been bossing the breakdown. So I think it's something they need to keep going, keep working with that work rate. It's been really positive from Ireland so far.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like Nicole Cronin is going to have to come off. She got that hit to her back quite early on, and she's been trying to play through it, but you can tell she's in a lot of pain. Such a shame for her to part so soon. On in her place, you've got Michelle Claffey And we think there'll be a slight adjustment here, don't we, Kira?
Yeah, I can imagine Enya Breen will go into 10 and Michelle Claffey will slot into 12. Enya Breen has that experience at 10.
Well, all of her Ireland teammates will look after her, but she is in some discomfort. O'Connor. Dane manages to find her woman. Straight into the action goes Claffey. That will be so frustrating from Ireland.
White scrum.
Ireland's pretty running this move off the back of that line out where they're running across with an inside of 12 ball crash. But you're running into traffic, you're running into strong forward pack, it's always going to be a collision zone. So I think they maybe need to just change up that platform.
Yes, thank you.
Well, you can see there just packing down is Sarah Burns. She's going up against Linda Jugang, the Irish #1. And they've gone quickly, England, out to that far side, pounding down the wing.
No.
Well, it looked like Infante just lost her feet there. Knocked on, Irish advantage.
Hold here.
Dane gets it back.
Stop, Green.
Good for Considine to get that one away.
Advantage. Knock on.
They're going to come back then for the knock-on.
Knock on by White. Green scrum. Not now. We've got the scrum happening. Awesome. Keep your knees, feet under you. Tied up.
Just again, unusually, head up. Not on the ball. Watching who is coming in to tackle.
You have to say those handling errors from both sides will be a worry for both coaches.
Crouch!
It's Lewis Deacon in the middle of your screen there. Scott Beamond on the left, and hidden behind Deacon there is the head coach, Simon Middleton. Good scrum from Ireland. O'Connor.
7 offside. Broken early.
Warning against Marley Packer.
Yep. No problem with coming from that position to tackle, but you can't leave the scrum before the ball is out. Can't leave your bind. But you shot early. And Molly Packer's having a frustrating game for England at the moment because she is usually the centre of everything. And she's had mistimed runs, she's had little bits like that. So it's been a very uneven performance, it's very unusual for her.
Saracens Marley Packer on her 82nd cap here today. Now 32 years old. Interesting to see how many more years she's got in her. No doubt she'll want to get to 100. Jugang is there, looking for work.
Not on the ball. Leave, White. Leave.
Slow ball for Ireland. Good running lines and over the gain line. Neupu. Here comes Wall. Spun out and away. You can see that she's been really busy, Claffey, since she's come on. Happy to take on work, but it's loose and Burns on it right away. Pushed out towards the far side. Scarrett's there. Infante back then inside through the middle. It's Byrne again. Byrne is just always in the right place at the right time. Scarrett popped out towards the far side. Cornborough with the last pass in the end to Thompson. Not enough space. Back once again, Ward. Infante looks up. Harrison is there. Aldcroft. Packer's on her own. Pops off. Eventually it's Cornborough who arrived in time. There's an Irish player stuck there.
Advantage. 7 off feet. Advantage. No, over here. No.
England wanted to go quickly.
I need to set the mark.
No, mark hasn't been made. Referee's right.
Hey.
Oh. Neve Jones again.
Yeah, look, a bit of actors there again. There's no need for it. Focus on the game at hand. Obviously, look, a bit of frustration with it coming in at this stage of the game as well.
Take your girls back for a second for me. I'll deal with it. I'll talk to them.
What you said, sorry.
Oh, sorry, take your girls back for me. Just leave your girls there for a second. There's no try because she's not on the mark, so the penalty's coming back.
Are we looking for the punch?
Well, I'm going to see that, and we're going to see if my AR's got anything, and we'll go from there.
Hookers, can't trust them.
You don't see anything? All I've seen is 2 run in. I haven't seen any action by White to start it. Lee, have you got anything on that one, informally?
We're just waiting here from Lee Jeffrey.
Seen anything so far?
No, there's no TV angle that's showing us anything. Sorry, Amber.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything clearly what's happened there. That's right. She's checking it. She's got multiple camera angles up there. All we've seen is your 2 run in. I don't want you to see that. Your 2 was involved earlier.
Okay, I'll speak to her, but she's reacting.
Amber, sorry, we've just got an angle now.
Okay, hold on. Have we got an angle that we'd like to see something?
There is now an angle that we can now show you coming up on the big screen.
Okay, hold on. Check. Back we go for me. Back, girls.
Well, I was just saying, there was a punch here. Let's have a look, is there?
What are we looking for, Lee?
Okay, up on the big screen now for you. The player coming through.
There's a slap.
So I've got a push to the face by 9 White onto the player, and then the number 2 has just come and pushed her on the ground. So I'm going to reverse the penalty, and it's going to be a penalty against 9 White. I don't see much force in it. It's just a push off the face.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, left for you. Is there any more force in it than a penalty lead?
No, I agree, Amber. It is penalty only.
I'm happy with the penalty, so okay. Sarah? Sarah? So we do have a push by 9 White to the face of the green player. Your player has retaliated, but because of that, that will be reversing that penalty, and there will be a penalty to green here.
Was it often that green inflicted for her to do that, though? Because she landed on it?
No, it's on the ground there. I haven't seen that. So we're going to reverse the penalty here, okay?
I'll tell you what did happen, and it happened so quickly people missed it. It was a flick, and I don't know if it was inadvertent from the Irish player who came in second as she was diving. And I think Leanne Infante thought that it was a player who was on top of her, and that's why she reacted, and it wasn't.
You have to say that was very good work by the officiating team to come out with that outcome, because I think everyone in the crowd thought that Leanne Infante had been very hard done by.
Yeah, completely. And look, that's why the value of the TMO and having that, you wouldn't have picked that up in real time. And look, it is something minor, but again, you can't react regardless.
What got clipped there was the Irish number 9 who clipped her.
Thank you.
We restart then with an Ireland line out. Jones gets the ball in. There was a hand in there by Aldcroft.
Okay, thank you. Advantage,
so it's a knock-on.
White.
Advantage to Ireland. England really contesting there. It's hard for Catherine Dane to get this one away.
Holding here. Advantage is over.
Breach. Infante finds Aldcroft. You can feel the collisions in the stand. So strong. Scarrett. Rowland.
No.
Harrison manages to find Cornborough. She decides to straighten. Hunter. Packer.
Too static though from England.
Harrison again. She does have a runner in Matthews, but on her own again. Harrison, Scarrett, nice loop round from Rowland, not quite connecting on the far side, but all backwards. Hunter. Ireland really contesting to make sure England don't get that quick ball they want, but it's a breakthrough by Harrison. 3 Ireland players push her back. Aitchison, Cornborough again. She had a fellow prop Byrne with her.
3.
Again, another well-worked defensive set by Ireland, forcing England to seal that ball. Again, it's just a threat. Ireland have been posing at that breakdown. They are looking for the poach, and the English are just rushing into that to stop that disconnect, force them off their feet.
Well, England just not able to string enough quality phases together. They're in 2 or 3 where the ruck speed is good enough, but then they're having one that's overrun or put behind the runner, and they just can't break the Irish defence, who, to be honest, are doing very well.
Well, hiding behind that pillar is Greg McWilliams, the Ireland head coach, which you have to say, he will probably be delighted with how his team have performed. I know he's shaking his head, but this is far better.
Bearing in mind the number of players that have been withdrawn to go in the Sevens tournament, you know, and I think in the end, England's bench will come on and they will have a very significant effect, and the Irish bench will not match them. But so far, he must be very pleased. Apart from with the line-out.
Infante. Ready to read that one. They're spinning it out towards the far side. Harrison gets the long pass. Still going through Thompson.
And that is one hell of a scramble tackle.
In touch. Green ball.
Well, it's another frustration there for Ireland. That line out there, just a real pickle for them all afternoon.
See the numbers extra there. England have got to be able to put those away in tight games, in games against World Cup opposition. They need to be able to convert superior numbers like that.
Try-saving tackle also by Molly Scuffle-McCabe as Ireland try and run themselves out of a bit of trouble through Dorothy Wall. Jugang. Dane gets it back. The clearance comes in by Munster's Considine. Considine actually started playing a rugby at the age of 23 when she was a teacher moving into Dublin.
White, come across. Come off the line.
Played a bit of sevens in her time. Ward has to take that one to ground.
Let's use now.
There's no scrum half there. That's what England are waiting for. Packer takes. Cornborough.
Stay up, 8.
Pass to nothing. Harrison does well there to feed Aitchison. Scarrett. Harrison with the pass. That's really well worked by Aitchison. Great communication.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Infante.
Hold.
Breach. Supporting from Byrne.
Roll.
Breach still in there to play scrum half at the moment. England have spent so much time this 22. Crossfield kick, there's a win there. Remember, Thompson can't quite take it. Scarrett out there. And that is the half-time whistle. Impressive then from England, but you have to say Ireland, with all the changes they've had, they have come here to fight for this. The half-time score at Welford Road, England 10, Ireland 0.
Well, there we go. All of the crowd going to go and take a rest, as are the two sides. And those England faces, Brian, you can tell there's frustration.
Well, I tell you the difference. The Irish side ran off this field, almost sprinted. And you can see determination, and you can see England are very frustrated. And they should be, because things have not been going right. There's no time to put it right. You don't always play well, but Simon Middleton and the England players must know they need to be much more accurate in the second half.
Well, that's it from us here as we head back down to pitch side.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah, I think it will be Ireland who will go into the half-time talks feeling a lot more upbeat and positive about the scoreline, that's for sure, that they've kept it down, because after those opening exchanges, Maggie Alphonse, and England came out of the traps, didn't they, scoring within 2 minutes. It looked like it could have been a really harmful scoreline for them to come back from, but actually they've done so well, Ireland, to contain England, and the error counts at the moment, they're all England's.
Yeah, Gabby, I'll be honest, it's been a feisty game. It's been a fairly mixed game, and like you've already highlighted there, England had the first fast start, and then I would say Ireland have been all over it in terms of the defence. I mean, it's been exciting to watch, and what we wanted was a big game for a big record crown. I've been really pleased with what I've seen so far. And
Kira has got a turn of pace still, because she's made it down from the commentary box, which is no mean feat. It's all the way over there, against the wind as well. Just singing Ireland's praises, actually, Kira, in terms of the defence and the way they, at the beginning, had to kind of withstand a barrage from England. And didn't let their heads dip, didn't feel kind of deflated about those opening exchanges, and kept themselves in the game.
Completely. I think Ireland will go into that half extremely positive. They've targeted the breakdown like we said they should. They slowed it down. They've given time to the set. How many turnovers have they forced? Niamh Jones.
6 if they forced.
6. Niamh Jones, Adele McMahon. Tyrants at the breakdown, which is what you need. It's that energy. It is exhausting, but it's what you need. And you can see real heart in the Irish performance, and hopefully more of it now in the second half.
Yeah, a very deflated Ireland side, I should say, obviously having to lose players to the sevens as well. But it was the rolling maul, wasn't it, of course, that was successful for England, as it has been in terms of getting the tries. Let's have a little look at the story of the scrum, though, because that was an interesting area. Up front, Ireland were always going to be weaker in terms of experience, and the first 2 exchanges, they came out on top.
Yeah, it was all Ireland to start off with. So Ireland win the first scrum, England collapse, and then the second scrum they get a free kick because England are going in too early. And then after 9 minutes, England start to dominate. It's like someone told them to switch on, and all of a sudden they had that secondary drive. They're working as a pack, a complete 8. And Ireland were just unable to get their secondary drive in. But it just says a lot about this pack, this team. They're really starting to figure out when it comes to really putting in a good performance against what is a strong Irish pack. They're learning to really communicate together, and that's what really led to their initial tries.
Yeah, and the England errors as well. You know, there were balls going off the top of the line. Now, weren't playing conditions either. You know, too many balls were kind of getting caught in this wind. Too many attempts at kind of missing out a player when they didn't need to. They could have just kept things a little bit tighter.
And knowing Simon, I think he will be furious about that, to be honest. Like we've touched on, there was far too many errors, but for me, a lot of these errors came for us fighting conditions. You know, we talk about the line out, throwing to the back in this wind. It is very gusty down here at pitch level. I just think England tried to overplay a little bit too much early doors. It just made them, it made us a bit vulnerable to what Ireland wanted to do. And I think, like we've talked about, Ireland had some very good attempts at breakdown, a little bit of Helena Rowlands there. We haven't seen a lot of her first game at fullback. Have Ireland not kicked because of conditions or because they're worried about her in the backfield? That will be a fascinating second half battle, especially when this wind changes.
Yeah, I wonder if that will actually change Ireland's tactics in the second half, because as Katie says, Kira, there hasn't been a lot of kicking. When they have, the kicks have been good, they've got distance. So do you see them exiting a little bit differently in the second half?
Yeah, I'd imagine you're looking to use the wind more if that's your back, looking to kick downfield, get that green wall. Enya Bree now is slotted into 10, has a really good boot, long kicking game with her. So I think that's really going to help. And again, it's easier to kick the ball at times and run it in terms of energy. And Ireland will need all their energy for the second half.
Yeah, sometimes the occasion as well can get to you. And it felt a little bit like England in those early kind of moments in the match with those errors, were just perhaps not doing the simple things well.
You're absolutely right, and we talk about this a lot. When things aren't going well, and I think Brian mentioned it in commentary, for some reason we overcomplicate it. And England, look, they're in front of a big crowd, and Emily Scarrett's emotional 100th cap. You can see that the emotion has got to some of those players. And that first, 10 minutes, we saw England got their tries, but then after that they started to slip away. And when it comes to errors, like England know that they need to sort that out. And I can imagine at half-time, as Kate has already alluded to, they'll be talking about that and they'll sort that out in the second half.
And I think you'll see a different England. I think, like we've touched on, Ireland's defence was absolutely phenomenal. Especially their goal line stuff was amazing. But this is a war of attrition in 80 minutes of an England side when you're going to bring on Maud Muir, you're going to bring on Hannah Bottomman, you're going to bring on Amy Cockayne. I think we could see a slightly different second half. But if Ireland can use this win to their territorial advantage, again, it could be much closer than people expect.
OK, we'll park it there for just a moment, because today isn't just a big day in terms of record-breaking here. This is a record-breaking crowd for a women's international in this country, which is fantastic, and the atmosphere to match as well. But the 24th of April is a very important date in women's rugby, which if you're a student of the sport, you will already know, because back in 1994, England won their first ever World Cup, and many of those women are here today, many women who are pioneers in the sport in many ways, and one of the squad from that day is speaking to Sonia McLaughlin.
Yeah, we saw them a little earlier, didn't we, wearing their caps with pride. And welcome, Jill Burns, one of the team who helped England lift their first World Cup back in 1994. And I wonder, Jill, what your memories are of that day in Edinburgh.
Distinctly happy memories. We were well drilled, we knew we could do it. We'd beaten America, who were the hot favourites the year before. So everything was going well, and I can remember that serene moment walking out onto the pitch, and we just knew. The pack were prepared so well by Steve Dew, our dear coach that we've just remembered, and the other two Steves as well had worked so well with the team, and everything went to plan, and it was a really treasured memory and a special date which is etched on all our minds.
Yeah, I think we're just having a little glimpse of it now, all those years ago, back, 28 years ago already. When you look at the crowd here today, what do you make, and the fact it's on terrestrial television, what do you make of the way that the women's game has developed?
It's awesome, and to be fair, we always knew it was going gradually getting better and better, and the more and more women who hear about rugby and want to play the game, the more and more girls that get the chance to have the opportunity to become skilled players, the bigger and better it's getting. And it's breathtaking. Second choice, third choice, fourth choice players for England are world class now, and that is why they are that level above at the moment.
Show us what you've got in your pocket, Jill.
Okay. This is one of the original caps. This is from the original Great Britain team, because the Women's Rugby Football Union was separate to the RFU, and it encompassed all the home nations. So we wanted to celebrate those early pioneers who organised rugby for themselves, played rugby, and never got anything to show for it. So recently we got Great Britain caps done. We've had regional and divisional caps for the players who played representative rugby before 2012.
I think you should put it on.
Okay.
Looks fabulous on you, Jill.
Thank you very much.
Happy 28th anniversary for 1994. And I should also say, happy birthday, Gabby Logan. You kept that very quiet.
Don't know what you're talking about, Sonia. A woman of my age never discloses those things, certainly not on national television. Let's look forwards, not backwards, because it's obviously 28 years, so much has been achieved, but another number, 167 days, that is when the next World Cup starts. They get bigger, they get better. The talent on show, obviously, is now so much more professional, with the game where it is, with crowds like this. And this England team are in a really good place.
They are. I mean, so far, they will look at this game and see it as, right, there's things that we need to work on, because when it comes to building up to Rugby World Cup, you want to peak at the right time, and this England team is definitely going in the right direction. I mean, the question is who can take this England team on, and we all know the next round is against France, and they're particularly the only team that can really push England. So I'm very much excited for this World Cup and seeing what we can see, because there's so many talented teams out there.
New Zealand at home, and New Zealand should be the team that would be favourites, but we saw England come over against New Zealand in the autumn, and the Kiwis obviously just weren't what we were expecting in terms of the power and force that we've seen in the past. They haven't been able to play as many games because of COVID. Obviously, they weren't able to travel as much, and that seemed to kind of cause a lot of problems within the camp. They've had a coaching change set up as well. And Katie, they have gone for Graham Henry as kind of the overlord, if you like, of a setup with Wayne Smith and Whitney Hanson. You feel it's a missed opportunity for them?
I really do. and I think we see a lot of this in the women's game almost. We find these amazing male coaches that know so much about rugby, and our answer is to drop them into the women's game, because I'm sure it's just the same, and I feel a little bit, like I say, it is a bit of a missed opportunity for me. I think there's some fantastic female New Zealand coaches out there that we know about, that me and Maggie have played against, and actually are those not the people that you want, who understand the girls, they understand the different aspect of coaching women athletes, and I'm sure Graham Henry will be fantastic in there, but you know, for me, like I say, I think it's a bit disappointing.
And just briefly, in terms of who England will play in the lead up to that World Cup, the friendlies they'll have in the summer, and where they're going to get challenged, because you know it's looking like it could be a Grand Slam next weekend if things go to plan, and then that will be 3 years since they've been beaten. Do they need to face somebody or some kind of situation where they feel a little bit more tested before they head down to New Zealand?
The answer is yes, they need to be pushed harder, and I do think leading up to the Rugby World Cup, as Katie knows, you know, you really want to be tested in those camps that you have together. As far as I know, there's 2 tests they're going to play against, but it's not been confirmed. But I just hope that England really build up and peak at the right time when it's going to be crucial in October in New Zealand.
OK, well, today's game, of course, is the final game from round 4 of this year's TikTok Six Nations. So let's round up the matches from this weekend, starting with Friday's encounter at the Arms Park between Wales and France.
And there is Sansus, again just testing that defence, keeping them honest, and there's space now. Sansus cuts back inside, sidestep, she's over the line, has she got that ball down? The whistle has gone, the try has been awarded. Penalty Wales. French hands in that ruck, not releasing. And Kira Bevan looks to take this one quickly. Scampers upfield and chips the ball over the top into the hands of Chloé Jacquet. And France still a counter-attack of their own. Sansus, this is Jacquet, lovely step inside. There's clear space opened up in front of her. Has she got the pace to get to the line? Yes, she has! What a counter-attack from France. Will Donna Rose help stabilise this scrum? It's going backwards again. Advantage being played, Chambon. There was space on the blind side, she's gone open. Tremelier looks to pass, sails over the line, effortlessly so.
It's going to be the last chance for Wales.
That one's gone immediately to ground. It is another advantage being played. And Wales thunder towards the try line. Can they finish with a flourish? A reach from Shawnette Harris. We'll have another look at this.
Incredible skills there from Shawnette Harris. Not just power, but flexibility to twist herself around the body. You know exactly where the try line is.
Listen, I'm happy that that's a one-place win and that we've got it on the line.
Just wonder if Mattinson needs to up the tempo a bit. It may not matter for Emma Wassell. Wassell thinks she's over, and she's telling the referee that was down. So let's have another little look. It's before the line.
Short there. Then there's a hand underneath it, but there it does get, it definitely is grounded.
It's first grounded short, and in one movement she's grounded it over the line. The try is good.
Italy really sensing something here in this battle at the bottom of the TikTok Women's Six Nations table. Over the line they go. The crowd celebrate, but it's not the award of the try just yet.
Here's your best angle coming up. Lauren, overturn your decision, give the try.
There we go.
Try sends. Short again. Short again.
Italy looking to extend the lead, and they get over. Italy get their first win of the 2022 TikTok Women's Six Nations. They've beaten Scotland by 20 points to 13.
Yeah, France unbeaten. Of course, Simon Middleton, the England coach, won't be thinking about them right now. He'll be thinking about the next 40 minutes. We've seen England play better, Simon, so what have you had to say to your team at half-time?
Yeah, just so we've got to try and take control of the game in terms of, you know, our performance. I think we've been a little bit affected by just, you know, some of the tactics just to slow the game down and take the steam out of the game. Well, obviously we want to get the game going. We want to try and entertain. It's difficult at the moment. So we've just got to make sure that we stick to our plan, our process. We're a bit better in attack. We've got to go a little bit harder, a little bit straighter, speed the rucks up by being a bit more dynamic. and then sort of, you know, try and get on top of the game from there.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Simon. Second half imminent, Gabby.
Thank you. Yes, players are out, so let's get to the commentary team now. Sarah Orchard and Brian Moore waiting for Kira Griffin to make her way up with you guys.
Ready to go again. You can see England there. They're just holding back 10 metres off Harrison, just to get that extra speed to chase the ball. Dane, popped off ball. Getting involved there was McMahon.
Green.
Advantage to England, who recycle. Packer.
Advantage over.
Infante manages to find Matthews. Matthews, of course, keeping Poppy Cleal on the replacements bench today. Infante gathers, finds Harrison, now to Byrne. Harrison again, Aitchison, Rowland. Matthews.
Tackle now. Stay 8.
Davis there with the distribution out to Scarrett, then it's Cornborough, breaches there, support on her far side is Packer, who's built up ahead of steam, Packer over! Marley Packer has spent nearly the whole of half-time thinking about that moment. England over for 3.
And that is what we know, love and expect from Marley Packer. Not the stuttering in the first half, but the positivity to appear out wide with good hands and the power to convert. Still has quite a lot to do there. Breaks 2 tackles with ease. And once she's got a head of steam up, nothing's going to stop her. She's an absolute Trojan. Hugely powerful. Plumber by trade.
Absolute rugby player by nature. Oh, she enjoyed every second of that. There is nothing about the physicality of rugby union that she doesn't enjoy. And Scarrett's off the mark. 100 up and 2 on the board today.
And if you're an England fan, you'll be hoping that that is the signal of the way England want to play in this half, with much better focus, much more accuracy and much better intent.
Scarrett gathers.
We're inside, the wing is on. Yep. Back!
Boy goes backwards. Scuffle McCabe was expecting that coming into this fixture. She was always going to be peppered with those balls this afternoon.
And once you find yourself isolated, always a probability that you're going to get penalised, because what do? Do you simply let go of the ball and leave it to the opposition, or you try and just hold on a little bit longer to delay it?
Well, Katie O'Dwyer is now on for Ireland.
We inside.
Christy Haney
inside.
Is off. There is Katie O'Dwyer. Harrison, Aitchison, Scarrett. The Ireland defensive line read that really well. They knew that was coming. Breach.
No hands, 8, leave.
Matthews can't take.
Knock on White.
And there is an England player down injured at the moment, receiving a little bit of treatment.
And they look quite concerned about her, actually.
Oh, they're having your 6th here. Okay.
They're just going to give a little bit of space.
We've got a cut.
Might be Jess Breach, who's down at the moment, receiving a little bit of treatment.
Hit. I'm going to bring it up to you, please.
Do you want me to formal review?
Right, they are just going to go and have a little look at this. It was when
that's correct.
Breach
Emma,
took the ball into
we've got
contact.
a clash of heads here. We are going to review.
Well, you can see the upright tackle there.
It's Dorothy Wall, you're watching that.
Well, that's just poor tackle technique, actually.
We've got 6 upright in the tackle. Head on head collision.
And with the way the world of rugby is right now, Dorothy Wall could be in a lot of trouble.
It is. Look, you have to control your force coming into contact there. You have to drop your height. That's just discipline. So it'll be interesting to see what the call is here. Again, head-on-head collision. You can't have that in the game of rugby.
Do you feel she is passive in the tackle? Or are we going?
Yes, so that's our full speed.
Sorry? Yes, that's right. That's all right. So, Lee, I've got green upright in the tackle, direct contact to the head, but we've got a low degree of danger. She's quite passive, so it's going to be a yellow card. Can you get me the colour for green, the number for green, please?
Yes, so it was number 6.
Okay, thank you. Number 6 for me. Head-on-head contact. It's unfortunate, but she's up in the tackle. Head-on-head. It's going to be a yellow card for your 6. Number 6.
Well, we have seen them in the past be given as red. You can actually see the bump on her
Where's
forehead
the mark for me, Lee, as
of
well?
Dorothy Wall, who's
Yes,
going
it will
off
be
for
your
10
penalty.
minutes in the
Can
bin.
it be a penalty?
Yeah, look, quite fortunate there that it is a yellow they've taken into account the level of force. But again, it's just a warning shot. You have to keep your tackles low at this level, at all levels. You need to keep the game safe.
And the reason obviously she's doing that, she's trying to wrap the player and ball up so there can't be an offload. And this is why players tackle in that way. But the greater good is that you don't have the head-to-heads.
Exactly. If you do a strong enough tackle, you're gonna eliminate the threat. So focus on tackle first.
Well, there you go. Ellie Kildunn is on for England as Jess Breach goes and gets treatment as England power towards the line. Still England, they go on a second occasion.
Yes.
That's over. That's a bonus point try. And it's a second for Lark Davis.
Straight away England making the extra player count. And for Ireland, who did such good work in the first half, they've got to try and ensure that the next sort of 8-9 minutes when they are a player down, they don't hemorrhage points. So Ireland do well, drop the first one perfectly legally, and I think they dropped the second one as well. And then England regroup there again, then England do regroup and go over.
If you look at the level of tackles, Ireland have made 133 tackles compared to England's 55. That's exhausting. That wipes your energy. So it's going to be a long half for Ireland if they need to focus on clearing their lines and getting down to English half.
It doesn't get any easier when you're a player down either.
No, exactly.
Yep, thank you.
Second half suits Emily Scarrett. And it looks like England are going to be making some changes here as well. Vicky Cornborough is off the field, meaning that Hannah Bottoman, Saracens player, is now on. Also another change there as Sarah Byrne goes off and Amy Cockayne. Oh, sorry, it's Lark Davis who's gone off, and we can see Amy Cockayne is on at hooker. Amy Cockayne and Hannah Bottoman just both back from injury.
But in Cockayne, you've got a lot of experience, and in Bottoman, you've got a lot of young talent.
We're just waiting. There is a Jugang receiving a little bit of treatment there to her ankle. It's heavily strapped up there until she's running that one off.
And I think she's been one of Ireland's best players, Jugang. The amount of work she's done around the field in the tight.
She's a really explosive player around the park. When she gets onto the ball at a flat angle, she'll always make gain line. And you can see her swap over from 3 to 1. and she's doing well.
Hunter. You can see there, just over the top of the ball is Maud Muir, who's also on the field now. Bottoman straight into the action. Back it comes. Aitchison. Aitchison has played at 12 and 13 now for England. She did very well in the 13 shirt in the absence of Emily Scarrett in the autumn.
Hold, stop.
Harrison manages to feed Dane. Considine. Still Considine, great handoff by her. Nice work there by the Munster teacher.
Play on.
Breen, who's having to stand in that first receiver position after they lost Cronin early on in that first half. Don't forget Ireland currently playing with 14 women. Breen again, just trying to push the edges there. Doyle on the far side, really nice. And England with an injury down in the middle of the field. It's 14 on 14. Dane, nice run by Naopu. Jugang was waiting, but in the end they go to the captain, Friday. Friday playing a rugby now at the Exeter Chiefs, but it's an England penalty.
Well, Ireland did nearly everything right, bar finishing that move off with some superb lines run, flat, at pace.
Excellent chip there by Green, just over that English line, seeing that the backfield was open. Again, excellent support again after to get the pass off Aoife Doyle. So hopefully we see more of this in the second half from Ireland, that they are gaining confidence and they do back themselves in these areas.
There you go. England captain Sarah Hunter is going off the field. Took a bit of a knock in that last collision, and Poppy Cleall is on. Poppy Cleall no doubt will be hugely frustrated. She wasn't in this starting lineup for England.
And the gap.
She's such a versatile player, being able to play back row and second row. You see Sarah Hunter there in a little bit of discomfort. Rowland. Rowland just keeps on running. Last connection there with Kildun, not quite there.
And that's very much been the tale of England's game so far, doing some things well, doing the hard work, making the potential break, and then just inexplicable inaccuracy.
Thank you. How many? 5. Let's go, girls. Let's go. Skills too big. Could come in a little bit for me. Thank you. Hold there, White.
Well, that was dealt with quickly.
White ball. Green on the line, step across. On the line, Green.
England were virtually salivating at that one. Cocaine on target. Packer. That's lost forwards.
Ripped, okay, thank you.
Friday again.
At me, please. Holding on.
There is certainly no love lost out there at the moment.
No, there's always a good bite to an Ireland v England game, and it's always a really physical game to play, and you want to play your best rugby for it. But there, look at Marley Packer, the second half is coming out a different player. She's really making her presence known at that breakdown.
Tim was meaning about the just slight things, you know, holding England back. When Marley Packer took the ball in there, it was put over her shoulder, and she did really well to catch it at pace. But because she was exposed, the Irish hit that came in allowed them to knock the ball out. Whereas if it had been put in front of her and she'd run onto the ball, she would have had the momentum and probably knocked the defending player out of the way, or at least retain the ball. So it's very small margins.
Aoife McDermott makes her way off. Grace Moore is on in her place. Here come England. They need the last pass to Thompson. Still Thompson. What a try! Straight off the training part, that move. An absolute beauty. Thompson, a prolific scorer for England.
Well, first of all, get the set piece right, which they do. Ties in the Irish back row a little bit because they've got to see the throw, and they're finally straightening them. I thought for a second it was going to drift too far and allow the Irish defence to just jiggle out. But in the end, just that step inside, keep it straight, and then the ball is released.
If you just watch there, that line round by Emily Scarrett sat down the Irish defence, forcing an hoop with to come in tight, as you were such a live threat, allowing that space, that open space to get that break. But it's just that unseen work for Emily Scarrett, I think, just shows her value to this team.
Lydia Thompson, 42 tries now in her 52 caps. Absolutely crazy stuff. Well, this side has been kind to Emily Scarrett so far in this half.
That's good set-piece work. And watch it, just starts to drift a little. Good work by Scarrett. That's the point at which it needs to be straightened. And just that one step, just one step enough to draw the Irish full-back in and stop her drifting out.
Yes. And your Breen gets us back underway. Scarrett takes. Huge boot on Scarrett, forces the Ireland back three to turn. Dane has it, but they lose so much time.
Hold here.
Dane. Support down the line. England up in their faces though.
9-7, please.
Breen manages to find McMahon.
Wings on, hold.
Breen there with the kick to Harrison. Got support from Scarrett. Decides to use Kildunn. Still Kildunn. Harrison manages to find Aitchison. Rowland. She's absolutely speeding up here, working through the gears.
Release line.
One too many there, should have gone first time.
Got to remember Ireland's still playing with a woman in the bin at the moment. Packer. Taken nicely in the air there.
It's taken back.
Well mopped up by the green shirts. Considine having to kick that one into the wind's tricky. But a good clearance under what was a really tough area, but they're going to have to come back.
So the ball is taken back into the 22. Here we see. It's a super run, but I think she's got to pass this earlier. Make her mind up there the first time.
Well, we've been here before in this game.
Leave it for. Keep it up.
There's different numbers at the back.
One advantage, one entry. You've changed line.
Cocaine has it. Managed to give it now to Packer. Still heading north here. Is there anything Ireland can do to stop this? In the end, they give it to Cleo. She's got Roux 1. Poppy Cleo goes over. England have found their groove, and now they're 6 tries up.
Well, just like we were talking about Marley Packer, Poppy Cleo is made of the same stuff, immensely powerful in the short contact work. And there were enough Ireland defenders there, I thought, to hold her up, and yet she managed to wrestle her way free and get the ball down. She's still got a lot of work to do. How many there? 1, 2, 3 players. And there you can see. Well, I can't see at the moment, but we might get a better angle here. Still can't see it there. Is that down?
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's not clear from that angle, but the referee is right on top of it.
There goes Poppy Cleo. Made her debut back in 2016. She was a late call-up to the 2017 World Cup. Simon Milton once described her as the best player in the world, but as we said earlier, she'll be frustrated with being on the bench today.
Well, I think England are back to a full complement now, but they've paid quite heavily for being a woman down.
More changes then for England. Abby Ward goes and takes the seat. She's played a lot of rugby so far in this Six Nations campaign as they bring on Rosie Gallagher of Harlequins in her place. Short restart then by the Irish. Ireland have won a couple of Six Nations in their time. Last one was back in 2015. It was a Grand Slam in 2013.
Knock on by 9.
There's a few players still hanging around who'll have those memories, but not many now, Ciara.
No, exactly. A lot of those faces have left the programme or have moved on. But you'd like to send Upu, who was there in 2015. She liked that experience and probably try and draw on that leading into the rest of this campaign.
Tell you what's disappointing from that, having got that momentum, and then it seemed to be that the IRFU simply didn't put the work in, didn't put the money in to build on that, and you've had to go again and plan again, and it's going to take 3 or 4 years.
Exactly, and the flip side, the opposition on this pitch shows what investment can get you and belief can get you, so hopefully that will change.
If you like a scrum, you loved that, as Considine now is in all kinds of trouble. She dealt with that really well. Scuffle McCabe comes in to help out, as does Moore. Dugang. Really interesting to see the changes that England have made and how that appears to have made the scrums even stronger. Roland says, don't worry, Harrison, I've got your back. Big hit going in there on Roland. Neve Jones again. Cocaine. Oh, she's back from injury, she's firing. Aitchison. There are some real points to be proved here by these Irish women. They are not going to lie down and let England have this all their own way. Matthews. Well, a slight knock on there at the back of that ruck, although it means Ireland have got to face another scrum in a minute.
Look at that, if you want to do an offensive tackle, there you go. Low body height, nice wrap, pump with the legs, drive you back. Again, dropping the height is just as important.
But I tell you, the great thing is, she's not lifting it beyond horizontal.
No.
She's keeping the control and just driving it backwards, getting her feet off the floor and then dumping her. Perfectly legitimate, great technique.
It will come as no surprise that Neve Jones hasn't missed a tackle yet in this Six Nations.
I tell you what, I've been really impressed with. She's been niggly and horrible, just like hookers should be. She's been tough, combative.
And she's been a menace at the breakdown as well, you know. She's forcing
I think she's been great.
Brilliant. 2 turnovers, you know what I mean, it's what you want.
Well, there you go, look at that attendance. Another record for a Red Roses standalone fixture.
Can't tell you how much better it is that you get 15, 16,000 in here, 14,000 at Kingsholm, rather than a quarter full, a third, you know, an even bigger grounds. Much better atmosphere. This is a proper rugby stadium anyway.
Well, Leanne Infante goes and takes a seat. Some hugs after her 50th cap on in her place. Gloucester Hartbury's Natasha Hunt. See, they're wearing 21. What a scrum. What a scrum.
Well, this is what I was saying before. The quality of the England bench, especially in the front row, you've got 2 interchangeable front rows, and you've got Bottoman, who is there, Cocaine, who's got a lot of experience, and Cleel, who comes in with her power. So there's no diminution in quality. In fact, you could argue as to who is a better scrummager on the day, but it's very, very close, and there's virtually no difference. And when you can do that, it's almost impossible for a side who is having to do the whole 80 minutes.
Kira, it's hard for Ireland to deal with this now. The changes that England have made in that front row just appear to be steamrolling Ireland.
Exactly, just the power, the experience, the sheer aggression. You can see what they took from that. That for them is as good as any try. Do you know what I mean? That's a front row try. So again, this is some weapon to have in your armoury. And again, look, being able to turn a scrum, get a scrum penalty, kick to the corner. You know, it's just another strength to your bow.
Green sit there. Hold, wait until time's on. Come across.
Amika came back then from those 10 weeks out with a calf injury. Back with a bang. Allcroft. How much fight Ireland have for this now? Such a familiar story.
Keep it up, Green. Advantage, 6 entry.
It's a penalty advantage as well now. It's moving. It's over. Hannah Bottoman. Her aunt Jane Everett played for England. It's now Hannah who continues the dynasty. Seven England tries.
What I said, Hannah Bottoman, a lot of talent, relatively young for the England front row. But she knows her way to the try line, she knows her way around the field. She's immensely powerful. And the important thing here is you don't panic and try and go off on your own. You stay within the curtilage of your own maul. Bring all the players with you, and then you can get the ball down.
Exactly, it's just sheer patience, it's trusting the process, trusting that you know you're going forward. But if you look at the back, Mo Hunt was guiding that. She was making sure they knew where they were, she was directing it. Real cohesion throughout that English group.
Unlike Mo to be talking, isn't it?
Very rare.
Oh, lovely.
Well, England have a habit of closing in on 50 points on teams at the moment. It's been a long time since they haven't put at least 50 on their opposition. Appear to be heading in that direction once again. We can't stress enough, though, when it comes to Ireland, they have been so discombobulated in the build-up to this fixture. A pretty fresh back line with 7 players going off to play in the Langford leg of the World Sevens series. The reason for that is because Ireland haven't qualified for the Sevens World Cup yet, and they're building towards that. They can't qualify anymore for the 15s World Cup, which is also later this year. So the IRFU is focusing on the shorter format this season as Thompson comes away once again. Still going with the footwork. Roland now as the green shirts suddenly arrive, and it's Moore who eventually stops it. Hunt, Packer. They're going to try and stretch this one. Muir. Harrison. Cleal. Passes out towards the far side. Brought slightly back inside. Cleal. So strong. Matthews. Aldcroft. This time it's Gallagher. Bottoman.
Numbers wide here.
Spin. Great rip there by Moore. You have to say, since Grace Moore has come onto the field, she has been everywhere.
Yeah, she's a real attritional work rate. Really good around the park. Very strong in contact. Is always looking for work. And she has made her presence known here since she has come on.
Aware of that one. Apologies on that. But it's got ripped back by you girls and grounded in goal.
Neve Jones is injured at the moment.
Yeah, I've got it. It's going to be yours. We've got to play it down.
Well, Hannah Bottoman's choosing to go straight there, but had the call come to her, or had been further up and looking to her right, there were 3 players spare.
Well, there's some treatment going on here to one of the Ireland players.
doesn't look good. So look at the binding a right lower leg.
Well, we'll just give them the time to make sure the medics get all of this right. We were just talking there, Ciara Griffin, about the IRFU is focusing on the Sevens World Cup later this year. Ireland not yet qualified. They had a fantastic result earlier this year where they came second in Seville. You can almost... Some people forgive the IRFU for this season, but you do feel from next season there will be less forgiveness for these kind of decisions when Ireland are being put up against a fully professional England side.
Completely. Look, there needs to be clear communication between both codes, and I think that also comes in overall planning of the season. I know this TikTok Women's Six Nations has been a different window, but it's now maybe on in future that the different planning to ensure that people can play both codes, because you want the best playing the best.
Well, just remember this. The Six Nations broadcast money is split equally, 75% of it. 15% is then split as to where you come in the table. And then you're talking about only 10%, which is differential. So England do get a bigger proportion, but only of 10% of the broadcast money. And when you bear in mind the relatively fewer clubs and provinces that the Irish Rugby Union, Scottish and Welsh Rugby Unions have to look after, there is no reason why they cannot invest in their women's games if they want to. The Welsh have just started it, the Scotland have started a sort of thing there. They haven't got the numbers to have the domestic leagues like England have got, but they can play in the Premier 15s here. No problem with that, but it's a lack of will, it's not a lack of money.
Well, Greg McWilliams, the head coach, he has come in. He has said that he is expecting contracts to be announced for his 15s players by the end of this year. He says he'll be surprised if it isn't that early. But he has also been in a really campaign for the women since he's come into position, and they're going to have a two-test summer tour for the first time ever this year, which, Ciara, is fantastic. It'd be something you'd have loved when you were a player.
Yeah, look, it's great. It's great to see they are investing in that, and you know, it's great to see the players getting that opportunity. You know, it's unfortunate in summer of 2020 or 2021 that it was planned for summer of 2019 for a summer tour also, but COVID came in, so it's great to see players now getting that opportunity to get that experience.
Yeah, Greg McWilliams appears to have been very popular since he's come in. The England women there, Zoe Allcroft there with 4 on her back. I mean, she has been out injured and she's come back like she's never been away.
Apologies on that one, it's very loud.
There we go, that was her breakaway from the last one, and that was Lydia Thompson, who has made a lot of meters so far in this fixture, and this is Allcroft again.
Look, there's quality throughout England. The important thing, ball in 2 hands so she can make whatever play she wants to. And again, Ireland's struggling now because they worked so hard in the first half. Then the England bench has come on. Ireland have had a time when they've been a woman down and they're just exhausted. And there's only so much you can do in defence, and England keep bringing on fresh players, and then this sort of, well, let's just hope this injury isn't as bad as it looks.
Yeah, it's Emma Considine who's making her way off. Really disappointing for her. She's had a really strong game, and Ireland have really turned to a lot for her boot so far this afternoon. We wish her all the best in her recovery.
It's something you never want to see. You never want to see anyone being taken off the pitch on a stretcher. It's going to be a big loss to this Irish team, just in terms of her experience and just her vocalness on this pitch. I wish her a speedy recovery.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, here we go. Controlling at the base of this scrum. It was a big scrum performance before the break, collected by Poppy Clear. Brace. It all came from that incredible England scrum, which is just built throughout this fixture. And Cleal then finished the business.
Yeah, you need to keep your shoulders on to stay in there.
Power and more power. See, Christine. Eddie can't get her shoulder down. Dugan's turned completely sideways. And of course, Cleal when you're going forward.
Clear, Amber. Thank you.
I mean, just the fact that she's unable to get the run up, notwithstanding the fact that the Irish pack are being shoved back behind their own line, is enough anyway. It's going to be a long last 15 minutes for Ireland.
Poppy Cleal has had 4 carries and 2 tries. You take that, Kira?
I definitely would. No, she's been a real presence since she came on.
Well, she's got 100 caps.
Number 6.
And she's just made that a nice round 50 points for England.
Can't emphasise enough that it's the depth and quality with England. You can get a 15 out to match them possibly up front or whatever, but when you're having to make the changes and seeing the quality that comes on against you, that is what the professional programme has done with England. It's given them a much bigger depth than their opponents.
Well, we should say there's been a few changes. So Niamh Byrne is now on for her debut for Ireland. She's hanging out on the left wing at the moment. She came on for Considine. Meanwhile, Maeve O'Leary is also on the field now for Dorothy Wall. Rowland took that well overhead. Nice pass backwards as well to Thompson. Very cute. Bottoman. Still Bottoman. Every metre is precious. Scarrett. Stolen ball, really beautifully read there by Doyle. Friday. Taken in the end by O'Dwyer. That's been turned over, taken by Aldcroft, who pops off the ball. Cleal to Bottoman, Saracen to Saracen. Hunt looks up, Harrison having to play over the top of the injury. It's Kildunn. Kildunn's still going. Got support if she wants it, doesn't need it.
Wow. Well, that was worth putting forward on its own.
But I'd like to review it's a head contact again by Green.
Ellie Kildunn then going over the Harlequins
yes,
women.
That's correct. Head clash
But they are
Green.
just going to have a little look at something. They are going to go and look at this upstairs.
Yes, we've got a head clash by number 13, Green. So advantage will play for the try, but I'd like you to review the head clash.
Okay, thank you.
So they're saying that the try is good, but they're just going to look at a head clash, and it's against Seni Neobu.
This might be a better angle.
Well, these are the exact things that World Rugby want to be wiped out.
More
You see, to me, that's not malicious. It's just careless and it's poor technique.
Real speed again for me. I've got direct contact to the head, and the player is upright in the tackle.
It is quite simple. Just bend your knees, isn't it?
Exactly.
It really is.
Yeah. Drop the height, wrap your tackle, draw your legs. It's simple as that. It's just, we need to get away with this habit of going upright, trying to do too many things at once, just tackle the player. And it's just unfortunate. That's a second head-on-head collision now.
One more time? Could I see it one more time for me, Lee? Sorry. And we have got direct contact. Can you confirm that?
Emily Scarrett is okay, but it looks like she is going to come off. She's going down the tunnel for a head injury assessment. She's not actually coming off, so Holly Aitchison is on in her place.
So at the moment we've got upright in the tackle, direct contact with force. We'll just check this force again.
I don't think that force was any worse than the force for the first card.
Significant force there.
I think the
So
yellow
we've got
as
that
well.
high degree of danger.
But I think it's going to be higher.
So we'll be going red card.
Ooh.
Do you agree, Lee? Are you happy with those facts?
Yes, I'm happy with those.
Thank you.
Ireland will be reduced to 40 now for the rest of the match.
Last one, upright in the tackle, direct contact. However, there is more force in this one, so it's going to be a red card against your 13.
It's just operation, it's not.
There's still head on head. She needs to be lower in the tackle. Number 13.
Sene Neopu. She was a 2015 Six Nations winner with Ireland.
Stand advantage, try.
And Ireland will really miss her experience now, but as we said, these are the incidents that rugby does not want on the field anymore. And Ireland are going to have to play this one out with 14 women.
Time back on.
Well, I have to slightly disagree with the officials there. However, they are in charge. They decided, and the laws are quite clear. It is very, very simple. Players do not go in to tackles in an upright position. Bend your legs and at least got a chance. I don't know how many more times you have to say it.
Zoe Harrison with her first kick of the afternoon is on target. It was Harlequins Ellie Kildunn who went over for that one. Taken a long time to get that conversion away with the TMO review.
And when the final score is out here, it's going to look like an absolute gubbing for Ireland, and yet that's not really been the story of the game.
No, it's been a complete game of two halves.
Hunt finds Muir. Wasps women.
Ball's there, stay.
Harrison back at the line. You see Amber Reid out there as well now for England, pushing towards the edges of the field. England flooding over the top. It's going to be all about damage control for Ireland over this next 12 minutes. Still Muir, still so young. Muir, 20 years old. Reid, back inside to Thompson. Galligan, huge hit on her. Ball's been knocked on in the process. Galligan really frustrated there, but it means they get a scrum here, Alan, and the question if they actually want to scrum Kira.
Exactly, I think England will look to attack this as well. They look at an opportunity to force that penalties from the scrum, so hopefully Ireland can lock this out.
Well, the crowd have just been told that number of them packed into Leicester today is 15,836.
Tell you always listen to the reaction of crowds at women's games, and sometimes I think they're surprised by the ferocity of the challengers, the strength and the physicality of the game. They shouldn't be, nor should they be surprised at the skill levels, which have improved tremendously, and the commitment levels are just there. What England need, what the game needs, is for the other unions to commit themselves to catching up, because you've got a fantastic product here. And what you don't have, this is the first collapse scrum we've had, remember. We haven't had 5 sets of resets, we haven't had 29 box kicks in this game. You've got a different game, a more fluid game.
Wonderful moment there for Katie O'Dwyer. Worked her socks off at that scrum, got the reward.
Line us a mark, open up. Line doors! Open up for me and we can check this.
Well, England once again closing in on over 1,000 metres made in a game, but 35 tackle breaks is just ridiculous. Oh, Hunt's there. Quick distribution, Cleel. Harrison, she can see the space in the backfield.
Bubbled it on the ground.
Again, Ireland finding their own problems in the line out again. It was a throw to the back. Shaking your head next to us and say, yeah, we can see it from here. Why can't they see it down there?
Yeah, I know. Look, sometimes in the heat of battle, you're tired or fatigued, but sometimes just doing the simple things right and just straight up and down is what you need sometimes.
Crouch.
Now grind out, Linda. Grind it out.
Bind.
That bind. Don't move.
Set.
Stay there now, Linda. Come on.
Gloucester Hartbury scrum out. Natasha Hunt got the ball in there. That's gone down. Hunt told to use it. Harrison. Reed. There's going to be space. They've got the extra woman. Kildun needs to pass.
Going to get there.
Oh, she gets it down.
You have to have a look at that. I'm not sure about that.
It was one hand put down by Kildun in the toughest of circumstances. And that's her second try.
Two inside runners there, fixing the Irish defence so they can't drift until late. Thought it might have gone. She needs to get that ball down. Yes, she got it down.
Great skill level there by Kildun again, backing herself in contact, evading two Irish defenders, 3 in the end. Really good finish.
You see, just out of shot here. Crossing ball, but the centre coming backwards, fixing the inside defenders.
Amber, all clear.
Thank you. Okay. No conversion.
Well, there's going to be a couple of changes here for Ireland. They're taking off Dugang and Jones, bringing on Houben and Pearce, needing some fresh legs. And it looks like Poppy Cleal has picked up an injury as well. And that will be a bit of a concern for England. We've already seen Sarah Hunter go off injured, and it looks like Poppy Cleal's taken a knock as well. So question will be asked at who's going to move to number 8 now.
Ball down for both teams.
The wider thing won't want that in front. It depends on how it goes, but with the French game coming up as well.
Well, there's been a lot of walking wounded and others, you have to say, that's come away from this fixture from both sides. Be interesting to see how they all turn out next week. Muir. Oh. Maud Muir.
Taken back.
So young, so strong.
Oh, no.
And once again, England forcing the Ireland back three to turn. Scuffle McCabe gets that. A lot of pressure going there on Hannah O'Connor, who I don't necessarily think is used to hanging out there.
No, but Hannah O'Connor actually is an excellent boot. She's one of the Irish kicking options, so it's great to see her using it.
She's actually managed to get the ball all the way down the tunnel, which is very impressive.
No advantage. Knock onto the line out. Up here. Just back a little bit. Gone out, yeah. Go back up here.
Well, let's get your TikTok Women's Player of the Match, Brian Moore.
Well, it's an inevitable one. In some ways a bit cliched, because it seems she always does this. But Marley Packer, still on the field, has played the whole game. Was the person who was responsible for getting England going forward in the first half and in the second half. And everything that's good there. Look at that, 120 metres made. Huge stat. So my TikTok man of the match, sorry, woman of the match, my fault, is Marley Packer.
She really is the heartbeat of this England side. Kira, what's it like to play against Marley Packer? You've had some lovely tussles in the past.
It's never easy to play against Marley Packer. She's relentless in her physicality, relentless in her work rate. And I think today in the second half, she really has been what you need for England going forward. So, well-deserved player of the game.
Coming, Green. All the way.
I hope you can't lip read, that's all I can say.
Well, it was Allcroft who went up to take that.
Just attach to the back.
It's still moving, eventually collapses down to the floor, and you can just see that's the experience of Natasha Hunt. She is moving those forwards around exactly where she wants them. Still pushing, they know not to go over. There's Packer, out towards the far side, Thompson! Lydia Thompson finishes off business for England in what is racking up to be a real scary scoreline. They managed to score 74 against Italy, they're now up to 67 against Ireland.
In some ways I feel sorry for the Irish girls because their first half performance was very good in extremis, but they've had to play 2 periods when they've been a player down. They're missing the players from the sevens, and I'm simply, the fact is the England bench has been of such good quality to bring them on. They're exhausted. I don't think you could have asked much more of them.
No, look, I think the first half performance, they'll take great solace from that. But again, that's the power of depth in a team. Look at that bench that came on for the English pack and everything, and made a difference.
And then things like that happen.
Oh, she's got that one. Smiles all round for Lydia Thompson, qualified occupational therapist, plays her rugby at Worcester. She was part of that 2014 winning World Cup side. She actually got injured at the World Cup, but still part of that campaign. Big questions being thought about England ahead of that next World Cup later this year down in New Zealand. All the focus in about 1 minute and 30 seconds time is all going to go on what's going to happen in France next week. A Grand Slam decider approaches.
Hold here.
Is there another dent to be made on this scoreline? Packer. England having too much fun in the sunshine. Hunt just trying to force things slightly.
Second one with the knock on here. First off the foot.
And Hunt knows that. She puts her hand up, apologises. Kira, of course, Ireland have got to take on another match next week. They're taking on Scotland. Scotland are going to be a dangerous animal because they will feel so hard done by as we see Emily Scarrett come back on the field. And it really will be another tough fixture because you feel Scotland will have a huge point to prove.
Yeah, look, Scotland at home, it's going to be a very tough game. You can see Scotland will be hurting from their loss to Italy yesterday. They know themselves they didn't play their best rugby, and so it's going to be a really big battle up in Kingspan.
Aveen Riley there, as she gives it to Scuffle McCabe. Get to see Ireland on the ball. Oh, huge hit on O'Connor. Down the Irish line they come. Breen there, just struggling to get body position as she knew Muir was arriving. Riley. Waiting at the back there was Byrne, but lost forward and the clock is gone. They just can't stop winning. 22 victories on the bounce. And now only France is left in England's way as they eye up another Six Nations and another Grand Slam. It has been incredible here in the Leicester sunshine. A tough end for Ireland, who had that red card, but it finally finishes England 69, Ireland 0. Well, Brian Moore, 11 tries there for England. You felt it could have been more, but that doesn't tell the story because Ireland had a wonderful first half.
They did, and they forced England into a lot of errors. The important thing from an England point of view is that they were able to solve the problem to get that right. From an Irish point of view, they were unlucky in the sense that they had two players off the field and they had players missing. You simply cannot play against sides with a quality of England like that.
And there is Emily Scarrett. What an occasion for her 100th cap today. And she takes the congratulations of the Irish team.
An emphatic victory for England over Ireland. 10-0 at half-time it was to England, but they ran in 9 more tries in that second half. The floodgates opened and the quality between the sides really showed. Ireland gave a great effort in the first half, Maggie Alfonsi, but this England side are on a roll.
Yeah, look, they were dominant in the second half. I'd love to know what was said at half-time in the change rooms, because the instant reaction from Marley Packer's first try, and then after that, you felt like this England scrum was getting better and stronger.
Let's hear from Marley Packer, shall we? She's with Sonia.
Well, Marley, congratulations. It was emphatic by England eventually.
Yeah.
Why do you think it took you a little while to get going?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. Ireland had a great defence. Like, we played a lot of rugby in there, 22 in that first half, but we had a good talk at half-time. We knew what we wanted to come out here and do. And our main thing was to make sure we get another 2 tries on them and get that bonus point. We came out here and did it, and then we put a hell of a result on Ireland today. So the team were fantastic. So, yeah, really good.
So, the small matter of a Grand Slam decided to come next weekend against France. How well positioned do you think England are to finish this job?
No, very well positioned. Like, we're going over to France. Like, the French crowd is going to be massive, but I think we just go out there, do our job, and it's a final at the end of the day. So yeah, we'll just make sure that we put everything into it, and hopefully we come out on top.
Many, many congratulations to you, Marley, and the team. You are the TikTok Women's Player of the Match. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
The incredible Marley Packer, and let's have a little look at what that does to the table. Well, England and France level on 20 points as they head into Le Crunch next weekend. You can see that on BBC 2 at 2 o'clock, kickoff at 2:15. And Wales in third place on 10 points, with Ireland behind them on 5. Italy with their first victory this weekend against Scotland last night, ahead of Scotland on 4, and Scotland bottom of the table on 2 points. And well, that is going to be some match next weekend. Of course, England have a couple fewer days to prepare, though. France, of course, played on Friday night.
Yeah, fascinating, isn't it? France get an 8-day turnaround, England get a 6. Obviously, Jess Breach went off with a bit of an HIA, so that'll be a bit of a worry for England. But I'm sure for the girls, you know, this win was huge. We saw the first half. They will be disappointed and frustrated. Much better England second half. And what we want when we go to France, or what England want when they go to France, is that real battle, isn't it? That tough test that really preps you for what's coming next.
Kira's just hot-footed it down, so very quick word, Kira, on Ireland, because that second half was quite a dispiriting for them out there.
Yeah, look, it's tough to take. It's always tough to take a scoreline like that. But look, it's important now for the girls to rebuild. They have a week to take on Scotland up in Kingspan. They need to focus on that. Take their learnings from this, not dwell too much on it. Obviously, focus on the areas that need to be improved, but now focus on Scotland on Saturday in Kingspan.
A couple of players gone off injured as well for England, Maggie, so as well as a shorter time to recover, it's going to be a big effort in the next 6 days for Simon Middleton.
It will be. Like Kate's already highlighted, the fact that Jess Breach is a worry. Also, Sarah Hunter as well went down with a bit of an injury. So there's a lot of worry going into that next game. But I imagine for this England side, they've got to be focused and ready for what is going to be a big competition out in France.
The big positive, though, here today, apart from England's performance for women's rugby, a record attendance, 15,800 or so here, enjoying that enormous win for England over Ireland that leaves next weekend an enticing prospect. Thank you so much to Cara. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much as well to Katie and Maggie. Well, we've enjoyed an England victory, and it all builds up to next Saturday, Le Crunch on BBC 2, 2 o'clock. Join us to see if England can win another Grand Slam.